Right, so we're back with the second to last 2023 Junior Cycle Graphics Exam videos. So this is a fairly quick and easy sheet. We're going to start off with question A. This is just matching the numbers of the diagram shown to the names. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is B. Tangent is done first. That has been identified as E. That's arguably the hardest one. So with the second line, we have focal points. So points meaning plural. So there's only one with plural with two things, that has to be C, so that's C there. For axis, we know that axis means line. There's only three with lines on them, that's our tangent, and we have A and B. However, our major axis is our bigger line, major being bigger than minor, so that's the B there. So there's only one with a circle. We have a next one is minor circle. There's only one with a circle in it, and that's D. We match that one up, and then by process of elimination, our minor axis has to be A. So if you kind of just stuck to that and just sort of said like multiple points, that has to be C, axis I don't know, circle, okay, there's only one circle, you could arguably kind of get them right, or at least get it 50% right by doing so there. Okay, so we'll move on to question B. I'm going to start in this bottom left-hand quadrant where the X is, and I'm going to go on a counterclockwise motion, so I'll finish up in the top left-hand corner. Okay, so the very first thing we need to do, judging by our question, our image on the left-hand side, is draw a vertical line through the center of that square. So they've already given us the center by joining the points of that little bottom quadrant, and I'm going to put in a construction line straight up. Okay, so where that construction line goes through the line DC, that's going to allow us to join to the middle of the overall square ABCD. Okay, so that will give us that kind of sloped line that you can see in the question. So that's me just drawing that in there, and we can assume that that line is parallel to the line going from the far right line that I've just indicated there. So we can assume that that's parallel. So all I'm going to do is slide and set squares, slide that guy across to where the line BC is divided, and join that down, and that will give us the bottom part of the shape pretty much finished. All you have to do is go in heavy. So you could ask, how do I know that's parallel? The only thing that I will say is they haven't given us another way to actually find where that line basically ends up. So to me, it has to be parallel. Okay. So that's not entirely true. So when I was doing the voiceover of this, I noticed that I messed up. Basically, if you join the point P here to the point B, that's B for bus, it will give you a center point along that horizontal line where my pencil emoji is now. Now, it does actually leave that line parallel, so what I've done is essentially correct, but I didn't want to be putting bad information out there. And I also want to highlight the fact that we even make mistakes, us teachers make mistakes too, and don't forget to look at your construction lines, because it always happens. But I just figured I should clarify that before we get back to the video, and just, yeah, make sure you look at your construction lines. So we know now, once we found that point along the DC line, both of those points on the DC line, the further right one there that I just indicated is directly below the point along the line AB. So I just indicated that there. So all we're going to do is we're going to do another construction line straight from where that right point hits the DC line, go straight up where it hits the AB line. That's going to give us the angle again, to kind of finish off that side. Okay, that's that quadrant pretty much done. We just need to kind of fill in our two horizontal lines. So that's the one at the top done, and then there's one from the center of our square out to that initial construction line that we just drew in. Okay, so that's that one also finished there. So the last thing we need to do is we need to find out where this center point of the circle goes. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw in my construction line here. That's going to give us the center point of that line, and then all we're going to go ahead and do is we're just going to take our compass, we're going to set the sharp end to that center point and our pencil end to one of the sides and just draw it in, and just assume that this has been printed correctly, which it has, as it is an SEC paper, and that's us pretty much finished. We need one line, as there's like a kind of a slightly different hue on the green, and that is that line there that will just draw in that chord there in our shape, and that's our image finished. Okay, so we'll move quickly on to part C of this page. As you can see from our image above, this is based on a hexagon, and we also have a radius around that will indicate where that hexagon, or the length of the sides of that regular hexagon. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to swing an arc for that radius to give us where those center points of those circles, or where the sides of the hexagon are going to end. And then I'm just going to use my 60-30 degree set square to draw a hexagon, find the center of those circles, draw in those circles, and that's you basically finished. Okay, there's no coloring in or anything involved in this question. So I'm going to set my compass sharp end at the center of those concentric circles, and I'm just going to swing that radius the whole way around my sheet like so. Okay, and then like I said, all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my 60-30 degree set square, draw in my hexagon, and away we go. As you know, or as you should know, the angle in a hexagon, the internal angle in a hexagon, the external angle in a hexagon is 60 degrees, therefore the internal angle is 120. So using your 60-30 degree set square, you should be able to draw in your hexagonal lines, or your hexagonal shape like so. Okay, so where that hits the radius is going to give us the side length. And if you want to check your work, what you can do is just take one of your last points, and it should hit the radius that you've drawn where the center line of that circle comes in, and as you can see, mine does there. Okay, so we don't actually need to draw this line in that I've just drawn there, because we know where that circle is going to end up. Okay, we've already been given that. So all you're going to do now is take your compass, set your radius to the small circle that has been given. So that's the smallest circle at the top of those two concentric circles. Just set your radius to that, and then where each one of those hexagonal lines have gone through that radius, you can just go ahead and draw those circles. Okay, so I'll speed up this bit, and that's you pretty much finished. So once you have all of your circles drawn in, that's that question done. There's no coloring in, there's no nothing. That's that question done, that's that sheet done. You can stay tuned for the last video in this series, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Thanks so much, bye bye.